Today we are going to be looking at how to skim read an article. This article is from the prelims syllabus, the practice section on defining regime types. So the essay question looks at the difference between parliamentary, presidential, and semi-presidential regimes. So let's practice skimming this article. The first thing you want to do when you have an article is read the abstract. This should give you enough information to know if there will be useful things in this article or if you need to put it down and move on to the next article. While you are reading the abstract, and the rest of the article for that matter, you want to look for key terms. So this article aims at defining. You know that this author is going to be talking about defining the concept of semi-presidential government. As you keep reading, you'll see there are in fact 3 types of semi-presidential regimes. This means the author will go through and talk about 3 different subtypes of semi-presidential regimes. He later uses the word for, so you'll know that he has 4 parameters that he uses to discuss these regime types. The next thing you want to do is read section headings. Now, as this is the introduction, there is no section heading, but you know that the introduction will give you a good sense of what the author is going to be talking about. So within the section headings, read the first sentence of every paragraph. So here in 1970, the idea was conceived, blah, blah, blah. The author here is giving you a history of semi-presidential regimes, and that's not relevant because the essay question asks you to compare 3 types of regimes. So you don't need to know about semi-presidentialism and its history. Keep reading. 8 years later indicates that he's still talking about the history, so you can keep moving on. This model is based on 4 essential variables. There we go. You know that this is going to be an important topic. So my next tip is to highlight as you go. As you're skim reading, if you just highlight things, then you'll know what to come back to and read in depth later. Next paragraph, this definition comes up against several difficulties. That'll tell you where you might find objections to use in your essay. Keep scrolling and you get to the first section heading. This is where the diversity of semi-presidential practices is discussed, so you can surmise that this is where you'll see the breakdown of the 3 regime types. And indeed, here's the first subheading that indicates that is exactly what he's doing. So you know eventually you'll want to go back and read about type number 1. Keep scrolling. Type number 2. And here you see type number 3. Again, remember to keep looking for keywords. You can read the conclusion to get the summary of what the author has talked about. And that's it. That's how you skim read.